Hey you guys, it's Britt. Today we're here to talk about the anti-communities online. It's been a little while since I've talked about this and I had some things on my mind. So if you're interested, please keep watching. All right, you guys. Yep, I'm in a hoodie. This is the vibe for today. Comfy, cozy, tired, lazy, all of the above. So hopefully it's good with you guys. But I have some things on my mind. Now, earlier I was going to make this a car chats and I just got off on too many tangents and I want this to be really easy to digest. So we'll do a car chats a different day. I have time off coming up, so there will be plenty of those. Today, I talked about this about 5 months ago, the toxicity that can brew within anti-communities. And for those of you that missed that video, I'll link it down below, but let me just give you a brief recap. I discovered anti-communities because of anti-MLM. That was the first anti-insert name here that I heard of. And you know, I could get behind the anti-MLM message. I thought that it was really strong. I don't agree with all of the ways the content is put out there, but that could apply to anything on YouTube. Anti-communities form because someone might have been wronged by this anti-whatever. Let's just use anti-MLM since that was the first one that I mentioned. Maybe you were in an MLM and got out because you realized that it bankrupted you or cost you a lot of money or you didn't make any money. Or maybe a family member did and that's why you're anti-MLM. Or maybe you're someone like me who, even though you weren't actively involved in an MLM, you realize that their business practices are predatory and toxic and gross. So you're anti-MLM because you realize that it's just not something that you want to be a part of. So you dislike it so much that you're anti-MLM. So that being said, there's a ton of anti-communities online. Of course, there's the anti-Katie Joy community that seems to be growing constantly because she's just such a polarizing person. You know, I think of different YouTubers like Onision, you know, Girl Defined, Paula Morgan, Nick Avocado. A lot of people are like anti this YouTuber. Then you have anti-family vloggers. Now, I want to talk about this specifically because I have not, during my time on YouTube, I've never gotten so many messages, DMs, emails, questions about a specific YouTuber until the last couple of months. You guys know I've talked about Josh at Dad Challenge podcast several times. I've said that I've enjoyed his content in the past. Over the summer, that kind of changed. I had a little bit of a different opinion when he did that Jordan Cheyenne interview, and I felt like it was a missed opportunity. Was it bad? No, I just felt like it was a missed opportunity. And as someone who wants to, quote unquote, lead the way in terms of being anti-family vlogger and this anti-family vlogger movement, I felt like someone in his position should have done a much better job when being able to ask hard-hitting questions, not being super friendly with someone who is a family vlogger and did, you know, something so negative to her son and it was caught on camera and released to the world. You know, that was child manipulation published to YouTube unknowingly by Jordan. And I felt like it was a missed opportunity. But after that, the Gabby Petito stuff happens. And I felt like, along with a lot of other people, he was exploiting the Gabby Petito case. And that was my personal opinion. Nobody else has to agree with me. It was platforming conspiracy theories. It was making content that was getting clicks and views. As we see, you know, he's not a true crime channel, which is all good, but that was just my opinion. I felt that way. I put it out there and, you know, keep it moving. If you agree, fine. If you don't, that's fine too. Everyone is welcome on my channel. Don't be an asshole. That's the only thing I ask. A little bit of time goes on. In hindsight, it's always 2020. And as time went on and the less I was consuming of Dad Challenge podcast, the more my eyes opened, the more I would check in on his channel, the more I could see that when his subscribers grow, his willingness to be extra cruel and mean grows too. And I feel like that's been evident on his videos. The insults that he's giving to mommy vloggers and people that he's covering, I think, are irrelevant and below the belt, and they are statements that I would never stand behind, because I'm just not a jerk. And I know that a lot of things get hidden behind the veil of, oh, well, I'm an anti-family vlogger and I'm going to snark on people to get my message across. But I think that that's kind of done and done at this point. Nobody needs to hear really personal insults in order to realize that family vloggers exploiting their kids is bad. I think that, once in a while you might be able to utilize that message, but not for every single day for over a year straight now. These are really serious, hard-hitting conversations that need to happen, and I don't think that insulting It's Our Life, Kendall Rich, for having too much Botox and too much fillers is the way to go. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not saying jokes aren't allowed. I'm not that straight-laced, even though some people think that I am. I love a good joke. I love a good jab. But when it's constant, every single video filled with so many insults, it just gets played out and the message is lost. And in my opinion, you lose your way by going down that path. So, but what do I know? He's sitting there with a lot of subscribers, and good for him. I think that's awesome. But he's standing on a message of being anti-family vlogger when a lot of the things that he's doing just don't align with that being the most important message. That's just my opinion. More recently, he also showed Brianna Kay's Google image of her neighborhood. I didn't like that. I mentioned that in a video. That's actually putting a family in danger by showing well-known landmarks and Google Maps of their neighborhood. I think there's a million different ways to get your message across without showing Google Earth of where a family lives. You don't know who's taking in your content, and especially that kind of content. A lot of people might be upset with Brianna Kay for little petty things shown in a video, and then you're going to show the Google Maps of exactly where she lives in Hawaii. He blurred out the images. I said I would have deleted the video, because you still have the audio to, you're saying all of these well-known landmarks. The whole thing, I'm at a point where maybe I'm wrong for looking at it from a little bit of a neutral stance earlier. But the point is that hindsight is always 20/20, and I'm recognizing that I cannot support content that I would not put out myself. And I would never deliver a video full of personal attacks, even if my message was important. I'm still not gonna deliver a video filled with insults in order to get my message across. And something else that I recognized with hindsight being 20/20 is that all of the anti-family vloggers except Josh talk about Erin Williams. Erin Williams is racist. She is pretty vile, in my personal opinion, and she is another exploiter of her children. And it seems like Josh does not keep the same energy with Erin Williams and is giving her a pass, when, in my opinion, she is the worst of all of the mommy vloggers, because she not only exploits her kids, she shows other people's children on camera. She is racist. She's part of an MLM, and she's gross, in my opinion. So why is she getting a pass when everyone else is drug across, every single video, insulted and called all kinds of names? But then you have someone like Erin Williams, who is actually, in my opinion, much worse than just a mommy vlogger. She has other characteristics to her personality that are you know, worse, like she's a racist. So why are we giving her a pass? So being on the outside looking in, I don't support his content. I support the message, but I do not support the content that he's putting out there. And I think that a lot of anti people do this. I've seen people in the anti-MLM community do this, where they stand on I'm anti-MLM, but I'm going to make content that is just basically bullying people to try to get my message across. But I'm going to say that the overarching issue here is that I'm anti-MLM. So yeah, like use the cause, but if you're going to make content and say that that's your cause, then let's make sure that you're not just being an asshole and using something that is really attention grabbing in order to get your message across. Like the whole thing is just, to me, I think that this is why subscribers see, oh, well, they're anti this, so they're about cancel culture and it's just hate and negativity. And unfortunately, because of some people on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, saying that you're anti anything equates to the person just having a justified excuse to be a bully, an online bully, and harass people and be vile and cruel. And that is something that I've seen echoed from many people. I've just been shocked at the amount of messages that I've received regarding anti-family vlogger content over the last couple of months, specifically regarding Dad Challenge podcast. I can no longer stay quiet when, you know, keeping the same energy is such a mantra on YouTube, especially with commentary channels. And does everyone do a perfect job at it? No, they don't, because perfection does not exist online. Everyone's going to have their screw ups. But when it comes to, you know, making an attempt to keep the same energy, even if it takes you a little bit of time to see the problems, once you see it, I would hope that someone would say, I disagree with this. This is how I actually feel, and let's keep it moving. Because at the end of the day, having integrity to me is uber important. It is the top thing that I think about every single day when I think about my YouTube channel, is that I always want to have integrity with you guys. And I'm a thinker. If you guys haven't, seen that, I'm definitely a thinker. I need to think through processes. I need to slowly digest my feelings and how it is that I'm going to work through this next chapter of emotions of, what I've gathered based on my own research. So it is a little bit delayed, and I do apologize about that, but I have always stood and said that commentary is not an excuse to bully people. And I understand that jokes and poking fun, it makes the content more entertaining. So I get that sometimes. But when it's every single video filled with a bunch of insults and talking about women's bodies when you're married, and even if you're not married, if you're even in a relationship, like, I would not, because I'm in a relationship, I would not come onto my channel and do commentary and look at some of the vlogger dads and be like, oh, you know what all the women are thinking right now. Like, that would just be creepy. And even if I was single, it's irrelevant to the conversation of children being exploited on YouTube for their family's financial gain. So anyway, I know that this was a jumbled mess of just thoughts, but I want to put them out there. Please use the comment section of this video to tell me exactly how you feel. If you feel more comfortable emailing me, you can do that as well, or sending me a DM, please do. But I'd like to hear from you guys about all of this. So for now, if you like the video, please leave a like and a comment. And if you'd like to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.